It's a Thursday tradition in these parts. Show me something. The divisional round coming up. 4 games that will determine the NFL's Final Four. Chris, let's do it right now. Show me something entering the 4 games that are coming up Saturday and Sunday. As always, rigged coin toss, you call it.
Let's get it rigged, Kristen. Make sure you punch in tails because you know that's never fails. Let's go. Yeah.
The suspense is killing me.
Yes, I love it.
Go ahead. There you go. I know who you're picking, too. Go ahead.
You do? You don't know for sure.
Yeah, I know who you're picking. Go ahead.
I'm going. Oh, you wrote a CH in there. Oh, that's my name. Okay, I'm going to go with Andy Reid. I thought maybe I had a tell there, like you were about to tell me who you wrote or picking. I'm going to go with Andy Reid for the Show Me Something draft. Andy Reid, we know what kind of coach he is. I mean, he's been phenomenal. Brought his Philadelphia Eagles to the Super Bowl. But, of course, has never won a Super Bowl. And this is a big moment for him. Andy Reid, we know about the Kansas City Chiefs and their playoff struggles, especially at home. You got Patrick Mahomes, who's going to be the NFL MVP, okay? And you are the master of the bye week coming back and dispelling all those issues we talk about a bye week every year. Andy Reid's team's success rate after a week off during a regular season has been phenomenal. Unfortunately, it hasn't been that great always when he's in the playoffs, and he's got a bye week this week. So I just want to say, Andy Reid, show me something as far as having your team ready to play, some new offensive looks that defenses haven't prepared for, and concepts, and go out there and let it rip against the Indianapolis Colts and win a game that you should win. I know this is dangerous, but they are at home. They are the number 1 seed, and they got the best quarterback on the field and some good pass rushers to go with it. So I start with Andy Reid there and show me something you got something special in the game plan to give your team an advantage this week.
No playoff wins at home for the Chiefs since 1993,
amazing.
back when they had green cement on the playing surface at Arrowhead, and it's been a long road, and they've lost plenty of home playoff games along the way. This is hardly their first home playoff game in 25 years. They've had 1 seeds. They've had home playoff games. Yep. They had one last year against the Titans, and they lost it in the wild card round. So that's not a bad choice by you, but I thought you were going to go for the Saturday night primetime game because the guy who is at the center of the storm for the LA Rams, if this team is going to make a playoff run, if they're going to win a playoff game, last year they lost to the Atlanta Falcons and Matt Ryan, quarterback-driven league, and the quarterback of the Rams, starting with that game against the Bears in December, it was cold, it was windy. Jared Goff all of a sudden didn't look all that good, and there are more and more questions about whether or not he's simply a, I hate to say it, system quarterback. Jared Goff, show us you're not a system quarterback. Show us you can solve a very difficult Cowboys defense. Stand in there like Nick Foles does and take that big hit just so you can hold the ball an extra split second longer to let your guy get open or throw him open. That's what Goff needs to do if the Rams want to avoid 2 consecutive 1-and-outs with home playoff losses in the Coliseum.
Yeah, he was certainly, I was thinking about taking him as the number 1 pick, so you would have been right if I had gone there. Yeah, you said it. Last year, the wild card game against the Atlanta Falcons, he did not play well. I mean, he was really one of the biggest reasons they lost. They left a lot of yards and completions out on the field, and he wasn't on his A game. He's won some big games, but he certainly hasn't been really, really sharp in some big games either. Hey, the Saints game, it was awesome this year, right? But he did throw like 1 pick in kind of a big moment. We, of course, had the Bears game, the Eagles game shortly after that. Those are playoff caliber teams that we go, it wasn't as good as we'd like. So I get you there. It's not a bad pick. I'm actually going to stay in the same football game. And I like to spread it around, but I just got to make this pick. And my show me something is the Rams D-line. Hey, Rams D-line. I mean, you got the Dallas Cowboys coming into town, one of the biggest, baddest O-lines in the sport, and they never try to hide the fact that they're coming into town to run downhill and physically beat your butt on the defensive line. And Rams D-line, you've been 23rd in football against the rush this year. Man, there's a lot of cash on that D-line for you guys to be 23rd in football against the rush. Sue, Donald, Dante Fowler, okay, Michael Brockers. I'm saying who's coming coming into town. You've had a week to prepare, a week off. You got to show me something that you can stop this Dallas run game and make Dak Prescott and that pass game beat you, which would become very iffy if that became the case. So I say Aaron Donald, Sue, those guys, they got to show me something this week that they can improve that run defense if they want to win the football game.
And I think Sue's the key because the Bears gave everyone the blueprint for dealing with the Rams' defensive line. You double-team Aaron Donald. Everybody did that down the stretch except the Cardinals, who gave up 3 sacks to the guy. Focus on Donald and force the others to step up. Sue hasn't stepped up. Now, maybe he will in the postseason, but we're talking about a very good Cowboys offensive line as well. Maybe he won't be able to step up. Maybe the only stepping he'll be doing is on someone at some point after a play, which isn't an unfair shot. We've seen it before. It's well documented. And I think we could see a frustration level from Sue if he can't wreak havoc if they are neutralizing Aaron Donald.
So pushing him around, right?
I agree with you. And I would have picked Sue because I always prefer more narrow. I'm surprised you didn't say the entire Rams organization, including their fans and including all residents of Southern California, which is also, I was going to say Rams fans because they need to show up at the Coliseum and support these guys instead of Cowboys fans, but it may be too late for that. So I agree with you. Rams defensive line, but specifically Ndamukong Suh. All right, let's stay in L.A., but not for that game. A team that is 9-0 outside of Los Angeles this year, going into a place where Tom Brady is 8-0 this season and 7-0 all-time wherever they have played against Phillip Rivers. Rivers has never beaten Brady in his career. His one win against the Patriots came in 2008 when Brady was out with a torn ACL. This is Phillip Rivers' chance. This is his time. This is the opportunity to right all the wrongs of his career over the past decade and to beat Tom Brady at his own game and come within one game of a Super Bowl berth. I'm not sure he can do it, but he's the guy that's got to step up and show us something as he tries with possibly the best team he's ever had around him to get to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. I mean, this is a huge game for him. And you know, I'll say this too, Mike. You know, the Chargers offense, it's been underwhelming as of late. I am a little concerned in this matchup. You know, I don't think Phillip Rivers towards the end of the season was playing his best football. I thought his arm looked a little tired. I think the receivers have looked a little tired as well. And just in my opinion, through evaluating film, I don't see the separation I used to. And, you know, I think people have gotten a little bit of a feel for their offense, and we know their run game hasn't been where it needs to be. So, I mean, I was going to pick Phillip Rivers next. I'm kind of pissed you took it because I do think it's a big moment for him, and I do think they're going to have to throw the football and beat this very good Patriots secondary that way. So that's where I would say good job by you. Man.
Welcome, kids, coast to coast, as Uncle Chris expands your vocabulary while you're eating your Post Toasties.
Oh, well, if they think that's a bad word, then, man, they don't want to see me in person.
Stop.
Okay?
Stop. That's for sure.
Yes. Okay.
All right, go ahead.
I think I know you don't want me to do this, but gosh. I think I'm going to
I'd like you to do it because then I give you a hard time.
I know. I'm going with a whole unit. I want to say Saints defense, okay? I just, you know, hey, the Saints defense has been, you know, this remarkable turnaround from the start of the year to now. They really have fixed so many things and really have been playing awesome football. They were really the strength of the New Orleans Saints down the stretch. This Eagles defense has been playing very good lately. But the big point is this. This is the Saints. You're at home in the Superdome. You got Nick Foles and the Philadelphia Magic Eagles coming into town who have found their magic from last year. You know, you're supposed to not dominate this football team, but certainly win this football game and end the magic that we've heard about Nick Foles. You're the number 1 seed. You're clearly the best team in football all around. But I say, hey, we always talk about the Saints and the offense, and I look at this one going, hey, I don't know if you can necessarily depend on the offense to put up 48 like last time. And the way the Eagles defenses have been playing, I don't know if you can expect them to put up more than 28 in this football game. I think it's going to be tough sledding. And because of that, that's why I say the Saints defense has got to show me something here because they are going to have to get pressure on Nick Foles with just the front four. They got to stop Ertz and Jeffrey, who are his go-to guys. He puts the ball up in all these great spots to where they can get it and nobody else. They better have some new looks for this Philadelphia Eagles offense as compared to last time around, because you know the Eagles are going to adjust. But this is a game where I look at and go, hey, there's no guarantee here your offense is going to light up the scoreboard. This is a different thing here. You're going to have to slow down the Foles magic and the Doug Peterson playoff magic. That's why I go Saints.
My biggest concern for the Saints, when the Eagles walk into the Superdome, they see a team that they beat 48-7, the second largest victory margin all season long. And how do you forget that that's the team that you manhandled? And how do you react if they hit you in the mouth early on? Because they're lathered up. They're ready to go. They just beat the Bears. They're confident. You're the one that has had 2 weeks off as a practical matter because Week 17 was irrelevant. Drew Brees didn't play.
Sure.
And I wonder how you get the Saints to focus on beating the Eagles. And the story came out yesterday that one of the things Sean Payton did, he brought in $200,000 plus in cash, plus the Lombardi Trophy. I heard the same thing happen back in 2009 when they ended up winning the Super Bowl. You don't think about the Eagles at that point. It's a nameless, faceless, logoless opponent. That is just the team that is in your way as you try to get that $200,000 and you try to get that Super Bowl trophy and the ring that goes along with it. That may be the difference for the Saints. They need something, otherwise they're going to be in real trouble with the Eagles.
Yes, they definitely are.
All right, my last one.
You forgot you had a pick, huh?
No, I laid out a little bit. I wanted to see if you wanted to add anything, but if you're just going to say yes, they are, I'll continue.
Yes.
Patriots tight end Rob Gronkowski, a guy that we have been saying some fairly candid things about all season long. It seems like physically he's not there. Maybe emotionally he's not there. Maybe he's getting ready to retire and walk away. This is his chance to step up and remind everyone who he is. He just doesn't still look the part. He can play the part. Is he physically capable of doing it? We'll find out. But if the Patriots are going to beat the Chargers, one of the things they need is contributions from Gronk. And it can't be 2 catches for 20 yards. It needs to be Gronk doing Gronk things. And if he can't do it now with a championship within reach, maybe it is time for Gronk to walk away. And if he isn't ready to walk away, maybe it's time for the Patriots to cut the cord. We know they like to do it 1 year too early, Chris, instead of 1 year too late.
Yeah, that's right. And then, well, I mean, we know they tried to do it last year a little bit. Gronk is certainly, yes, going to have to play better football. I think that's a very real factor in this football game. The Patriots, of course, their offense is better than the Baltimore Ravens. It's more diverse. They want to run the ball just like the Ravens do. They just do it a different way. The difference between them and the Ravens, though, is the Patriots have 9 million play-action passes off their runs, and I think that's where Gronkowski can certainly become effective. Fake the run, those safeties and linebackers fly up into the line of scrimmage, Gronkowski gets behind you. The matchup and within the matchup there, too, when they play man-to-man, Derwin James has the type of guy that can shut down a Rob Gronkowski. He's got the skill set. That'll be fun to watch.
All right, quick recap. Chris's pick, show me something. Andy Reid, the Rams defensive line, and the entire New Orleans Saints defense. I've got Jared Goff, Phillip Rivers, Rob Gronkowski. I win.
You're always about one guy. It's a team sport.
I win. Yeah, that's show me something. I focus on one at a time. When we return, we're going to focus on the two remaining vacancies, Bengals, Dolphins. What happens next? PFT Live. Back after this.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.